Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Freedom Munitions 223. Okay, one of the things that I like about it is that they sell it in a 50-round box. I have no idea whoever got the stupid idea to sell 223 in 20-round boxes. I mean, this stuff is probably closer to a pistol caliber than like a 308. So you know, in weight anyways, right? It makes a lot more sense to package this in a 50-round box, okay? So I find that a lot more convenient, a lot more efficient, cuts down on the cost of the packaging. This 223, right, is a new product for Freedom Munitions. They did sell, and they've been selling 223 on their website, but it's usually marked reman, so it's remanufactured. Basically, they reload the cases, and from what I read on their website, they're basically producing their own cases now, or they've increased the capacity to produce their own cases. So this is marked as a new product, and that's great because the price of 223 has gone up. You know, a lot more people are now shooting 9mm ARs versus 5.56 ARs because 5.56 in many cases is twice as expensive. So the price for this is really, you know, it's kind of like where it was a few years back. Okay, so a box of 50 rounds. I wrote it down here somewhere. I think it's $24.50. Okay, $24.50. And if you get, I think, something like 200 rounds of it, you get free shipping. So I bought, I got 400 rounds of this, and you know, to my door, right, with shipping and everything. Actually, with free shipping, with the taxes, right. So to my door, it was $217 for 400 rounds. Okay, shipped to my door. Okay. So a lot of times when you're shopping around, you have to look at the shipping costs, because one of the things I do is, like, I'll go to AmmoSeek, I'll look at, you know, I'll search 223, and this comes out to something like I think it was something like $10.85, right? If you do the math, that's what it would be for a box of 20 rounds. So if you're going through like AmmoSeek, first of all, a lot of the stuff there is steel case or it's remanufactured, all right? So it's reloaded. But when I was able to find stuff that was like new brass, in some cases it was a little bit cheaper, but then you had to pay the shipping cost on top of that. The only way to know for sure is to actually, like, go to the website, select it, put it in your cart, and have the website calculate for you what it's going to cost you with shipping and taxes to your door, and then do the same thing with Freedom Munitions and see what it's gonna cost you. Okay, so for the 400 rounds, like I said, it was $200 shipped. You know, that's with because obviously the shipping costs are included in one way or another. Okay, so even though they say free shipping over $200, somehow or other it's in there. Okay, so it's $217 for 400 rounds with you know, to your door. Okay. Now, let's talk about accuracy. I did quite a bit of shooting with this. On average, what I found, and I tested it with two guns, 18-inch barrels, my Ruger MPR and my Palmetto 223 Wild. On average, I was hitting about an 1.5-inch group, 4 out of 5 shots at about an 1.5 inches, and then I would get like a flyer that would open up the group to like almost 3 inches. Okay, so I saw that pattern a lot of times, where I would get there's another one over here. Okay, where I would get like an 1.5 inch group, and then I would get like this weird flyer out there that was about 3 inches. Another one here. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 shots there, 1.5 inches, and then I get one down there. So, you know, 3 inches. Okay, so that's the pattern that I have seen repeatedly. If you do a 5-shot group, 4 out of 5, 1.5 inches, and then your 5th shot's gonna open up to like somewhere, out to about 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches. Now, I shot this over 2 days, right? And it wasn't like 2 days back to back. It was 2 days that were almost a week apart. And on both days, there was a little bit of a wind. Okay, so, and it's like right now it's like picking up. So it's hard for me to tell how much of it the wind was a factor. I mean, at 100 yards, right, because there's 100-yard groups. I mean, the wind can move you 5, 5, 6, or 2, 2, 3, up to an inch, right? Half inch to an inch. So yeah, so on both of these days, there was a little bit of inconsistent wind, okay? But that said, getting 4 out of 5, 1.5 inches, I think that's pretty decent, okay? So that's it on the accuracy, right? Now let's talk about velocity, okay? Because when you go to the website, they're going to quote this ammunition as 3,200 feet per second, 3,200 feet per second. I ran this through the chronograph. I don't know, when they came up with that 3,200 feet per second, they must have been shooting this out of like a 26-inch barrel, okay? I shot this out of my 18-inch barrels, okay, through the chronograph, 18-inch barrel. Oops. These are 5-shot groups. Velocity 2915, okay? Average velocity 2915. So that's a muzzle energy of 1038. Yeah, that's out of an 18-inch barrel, okay? I did it again over here, same thing, 5-shot group. Velocity 2976. Energy 1082 foot-pounds, okay? Now, I also shot this out of a 16-inch barrel. Out of the 16-inch barrel, okay, again, 5-shot group. The velocity was 2828, okay, 2828. So the energy out of a 16-inch barrel comes down to 977 foot-pounds of energy, okay? So this is actually running about where Tula runs, okay? So as far as your energy downrange, it's comparable to Tula steel case, okay? So it's on the lower end, okay? So I mean that's now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but that's what it is. If you're calculating for a bullet drop, you got to calculate for these slightly slower velocities, okay? Now, one of the things I did like initially when I took my 5-shot group, I looked at the variance, right? So 5 shots, the difference between like the highest and the lowest speed, right? Because if you have a very small variance, that's usually going to mean that you get like very consistent groups, right? Very tight groups. So initially, like the first 5 shots that I shot was a variance of 21, okay, which was like, wow. I mean, that's like what I get out of like match grade ammunition, okay. So then I shot it again, and next time it opened up to 26, 5-shot group. I did it again. Next time it opened up to 77. So here's the interesting thing. So, getting if I like that, the first one I shot right through the chronograph, that gave me a variance of only 21 feet per second between my fastest and my slowest shot in a 5-shot group. If I had put that on paper at 100 yards, I probably would have got like a half-inch group if I was shooting right. Okay, so occasionally you're gonna get the stars to line up like that, and you're gonna be like, wow. I mean, I got such a tight group. Okay, but then the next 2 times I shot it, I got 96. Then I got 77. Okay, so that seems to be more of the average, which isn't terrible. I mean, that's that's not terrible. That's pretty average for target 223. Okay, so that's a decent variance. Okay, but yeah, like initially it kind of like blew my socks off. I was like, wow, I got a variance of 21. So I was thinking, hey, maybe I've got myself some really cheap match grade ammunition here. That was a fluke. That was like 5 shots. I haven't been able to repeat that. And sometimes, like if you're shooting, like I'll get like a 3-shot group where at 100 yards, because here's the thing: you can shoot, if you shoot enough 3-shot groups, you're gonna get half-inch groups. Okay, with 3 shots group. with 3-shot groups. But if you try to do 5-shot groups, you're not going to get it. You're going to get, you know, you're going to see that it's going to start to, you know, to fall into line with the averages. Okay, so that's why you can't just go based on 3-shot groups. You got to do 5-shot groups, and you got to do a lot of them. Okay, so and like I said earlier, the average is 4 out of 5. You'll get 1.5 inches, and then that 5th one's going to open up to like almost 3 inches. Okay, so that's the average of what I'm seeing with this. And so far, I've been probably through at least, I don't know, 60 or 70 rounds of this. Okay, so decent stuff, especially given that you know, 5.56, 223 ammo, you know, has been you know, there's been a very high demand for it lately. A lot of it's being shipped overseas, so I'm really happy that Freedom Munitions has expanded their capacity. It's probably not the cheapest price out there, all right, but it's a pretty good price. And again, you gotta look at the shipping costs with Freedom Munitions. Sometimes, here's the thing, you gotta follow the website. You know, sometimes they'll have like $5 flat rate shipping. Sometimes they'll have like $15 flat rate shipping. Sometimes they'll have free shipping. Okay. Sometimes they'll have full price shipping. Okay. So you know, you kind of have to like follow them and time your purchases so that you get the best shipping prices, and that makes a big difference. Okay. And when you do see like free shipping or something, yeah, get yourself a lot of ammunition. Okay. So you want to time it. Okay. And if you're comparing the costs to other brands, other shippers out there, you know, you gotta, you know, go to the website, drop everything into your cart, you know, get to like the checkout point so you can see what it's going to cost you with shipping and taxes, and now you can compare the two and you can make sure that you get the best price. Okay, so you know, I've been shooting. The reason why I got into Freedom Munitions is because I was looking for something decent for my AR-10. Okay, so I was very happy with the 308s. With the 308s, I've been getting like inch and a half, inch and a quarter MOA groups, and the 147 grains, especially the 150 grain 308s, they're really at the high ends, right? Out of my 20-inch barrel, I was getting velocities of like around 2,800 feet per second on their 308, and energies of like 2,600 foot-pounds. So that was like near the high end of what you typically see with 308 ammunition. So I was kind of hoping that, or I kind of expected that I would see the 223 also at the higher end as far as energy, you know, velocity and energy. But that's not the case. It's at the lower end. Not that makes that big of a deal, but just be aware of it if it is something that matters to you. So drop some comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Hope the video was useful, and I'll talk to you all soon.